Well, hello, we're live. It is Thursday, and I'm here for you because, my word, do we need some hope right now? I have just come back from the hospital where I've collected some medication for my son. And actually, in the back of my mind, from working with clients this week and last week, this notion of hope has been kind of going round and around and around. And I'm realizing that there really is nothing. There is nothing without hope. So, what I like to do on a Thursday is join you to share with you some of the things that we're going through in coaching sessions, which seems communal for lots of people who are with us, and to support you, because let's face it, we do really need it at the moment. We really need all the support we can get. Everything that I'm listening to on the radio is about looking after your mental health, about ensuring that, relationships aren't too strained, that you are looking after yourself. And we just are quite isolated. Even though we have this wonderful community, these wonderful networks, we need to reach out and ask for help. So hope is something that I am seeing that is common in all of the clients that I work with. In fact, my profession wouldn't exist if there wasn't hope. Lots of things that you have in your life wouldn't exist if it wasn't for hope. So what is it today on Thursday, while I'm here for you, that you need to refocus your hope towards? Have you been feeling like there is very little hope for certain scenarios and situations in your life? Or are you the kind of person who holds on to the fact that there's hope? There really is hope. We've just finished a school day today. I have my clients in the morning, and then we kind of tag team at home. And the reason we can get through this and we can turn up and we can do what we're asked to do is because we're hopeful that we're going to be going back to school, that the vaccine's going to be rolled out. The clients that come to me for my services are hopeful that they can improve themselves, and that through the work that they do, they can be better and live a life that they love. And in fact, at the hospital today, I have to say, like, it's pretty desperate. It's not a nice place to be, and I really, hands on my heart, thank everybody that's going into work day in, day out in those hospitals to care for those people. Because what is it that makes them turn up for work every day when sometimes it can feel so hopeless? Of course, it's hope. Hope is the thing that we cling on to. And what is it that creates these things that we take for granted, like the medicine that I collected from the hospital today? Those medicines weren't just created through a light bulb moment or by the answer dropping into somebody's lap. They were created because the people who pioneered in medicine, who are still pioneering in medicine, were hopeful that we can have a much better life than the life that we had before our science really took off. So if you're struggling with being hopeful at the moment, which I can see in some of my clients, and I really feel for you if you're feeling that way, I'm going to ask some questions which can frame, because I've said the word hope about 50 times so far. I'm going to ask you some questions which you can just take away with you. You can watch this back and simply allow yourself a bit of time to have a look at how you're feeling about these questions. Because in answering the questions, in evaluating how you feel about those questions, you are going to get a little bit more perspective on what's going on for you right now. And the problem that we have with our mental health is that we cannot step outside our heads. So this is an opportunity for you to step outside of your mind and to ask yourself something which allows you to reflect. What's the lens that you've got over your eyes at the moment? With what lens are you looking out into the world? So the first question that I'm going to ask you is, what are you hopeful about? Can you identify some things that you hold hope for? Because if you can't answer that question, then definitely reach out for some kind of support. Speak to your friends, speak to your family. So, first of all, make a list, get really clear. What is it that you have hope for? Are you hopeful about the situation that we're in with the pandemic? Are you hopeful about your career? Are you hopeful about your future? Are you hopeful that tomorrow could be a better day? What is it that you're hopeful about? And once you've spent some time deeply reflecting on the hope that you have, flip that in your mind and see if you can find somewhere in there the things that you have put to one side because you have no hope in those things. You won't have consciously done this. You won't have consciously put something to one side and gone, right, I'm not going to think about that anymore because I've got no hope when it comes to traveling next year. But actually, a lot of your energy will be going to things that you are hopeful about. So let's have a look at what you've ditched when it comes to hope. Pull those out and write those down if you can find them. What have you lost hope in your life? And then I'd like you to ask yourself the question, what impact is that hope that you have that things will improve in whatever areas you've identified? What impact is that having on you right now? And then consider the areas where you don't have hope, the things that you have left behind. What impact has leaving those things had? What impact has giving up hope on those things had for you in your life? And for those of you who are sat at home or at work, really struggling with what's going on at the moment, because my word, we are all going through it at the moment, whatever situation you're in. If you find that your brain is fuzzy, that you are struggling to cope with the daily tasks, the things that you used to find easy, if you see this post and you see that word hope and you kind of tut it away, I urge you to have a look at what you're hopeful about. And that's that true time that you spend with yourself looking at that word hope. If you believe in what you can get from some self-coaching, because it works for so many people that I work with, then it's absolutely worth spending the 5 or 10 minutes that you could put aside today to looking at what hope means for you. Right, I'm going to have a little look and see if anybody's joined us this afternoon. It's quite quiet. I usually go live at 1 o'clock, and I like to go live once every week just to share what we're seeing all together as a community. I'm really hopeful that we as a human race are going to come out of this as a better people. I truly believe that that's the case. I'm also really hopeful that the work that I do in the industry that I do it in is going to make a better world for so many people. I'm hopeful, despite the bad rep that my profession has, despite the poor rep that the corporate world sometimes has. I am hopeful that things can be better, and that's what spurs me on in my vision and in my mission to bring what I bring to the table. So I've gone on about hope, but I think it's so important. And if you're struggling now to see where you have hope, I urge you to watch this, and rather than dismiss the words or even hear the words and let them go over you, tap into it, look at it, see what's happening for you, and expose what you've been thinking. What are you hopeful about? What have you left behind? What are you no longer hopeful about? And what impact is that having on you in your life right now? I wish you all well this week, and I will be here again on Thursday next week with any questions that you might have, helping us all to self-coach, asking some really pertinent questions about who we are, what we're doing, and why we're doing it. And that's what we need at the moment, right? So please do take care of yourselves. Have a go at self-coaching, see what you can find, and I will look forward to seeing some of you again next week on Thursday, usually at 1 o'clock, but homeschool allowing, we'll see what happens. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.